Hey guys, Dan here from Guitar from the Heart. Today I was practicing a song that I wrote about 2 years ago. It's called Hope Breaks Through. It's actually the first song that I ever wrote personally, from start to finish, like put together a whole song. And it's a song that means a lot to me, and I've been kind of sitting on it, and I think I really want to release it to the world soon. But anyway, this video is not about the song. It's about something that I noticed when I was practicing it today, because I haven't played it for a while, and every now and then I like to try to go back to some old stuff that I haven't played in a while and try to polish and see if I can play it better and so forth, and try to keep all my parts memorized and whatnot. And what I noticed today is just something kind of weird. It's just that, like, when I approach a certain passage, right, as I'm playing, I just notice, like, subconsciously, it's like if I'm kind of running away from having to play that passage. Now, it's kind of hard to explain what I mean, but I'm coming up to a certain part, I'm playing a certain part of the song, and when I'm about to go to that next part, it's just like, I kind of feel like, oh man, like this part, I don't really want to play this part. And it's kind of something that's really hard to explain with words, but what I'm finding is that this happens to me all of the time. So, like, I'm gonna put a part of the song up here. So here comes the part. Alright, so that's the little section that I was playing, and I noticed that when I got to this part, like, I was really feeling it, I'm playing this melodic part. And I'm feeling all of that part. But when I come to this part, something about that just makes me feel like, oh man, like I'm not going into that part enjoying it as much, because it's a piece that gives me a little bit more of a challenge, technically speaking. As I'm playing it, it's not as easy under my fingers because I haven't mastered it as much. And it kind of creates this effect of making me feel like if I don't really want to, like, play it, And I'm noticing, like, this happens to me a lot more than I really, like, realize. And I was just thinking about how bad that is for us as musicians, that, like, when we're coming up to a part that maybe we don't have as much confidence in, it could be easy to get sucked into that vortex where we feel like, you know what, like, we're not enjoying the moment as much as we really could, right? And so I was just thinking that maybe a better approach from a psychological standpoint could be to say, well, going into that section, instead of saying, oh man, like, this is the part that, I don't know, I might mess up. And so you're going into it all safe, and you're kind of... And you're trying to make sure, like, you hit it perfectly, but because of that, you kind of step out of the moment. And to me, playing music is all about being in the moment. If you're gonna get all heady about something, then you're not gonna really convey what you have in your heart at that moment in the best way possible, because you're distracted with something else. You're distracted with your insecurity about, oh, I'm not that good at this part, I hope I don't mess it up, or whatever. So like, I was just kind of encouraging myself to say, hey, well, instead of taking that approach, maybe I should just really focus more on that part when I get to that part and when I'm coming up to that part, on just owning that moment and being as honest as I can, and really allowing myself to enjoy that moment, to enjoy that passage that I struggle with, or that maybe I don't struggle with, but like I don't feel I have it like butter as much under my fingers. Allow myself to enjoy it and to experience it in the moment. And you know what? If it doesn't come out exactly as I planned, maybe something else will happen that I could flow it in the moment, and still it could be like an amazing experience, especially if I'm playing for someone else in that moment, right? And I think that this is a critical kind of thing to keep in mind, particularly for performance, and to not let that moment be stolen from you from your insecurities. And I just wanted to kind of talk about it a little here, because I think it's really important. And so like, hey, going into that passage, so I'm feeling it, just to allow myself to experience it more, So anyway, I don't know, maybe that will help you. Maybe you can relate to that in your playing, and find little passages where when you're playing, hey, you're not really feeling it as much, and maybe you could dive into those and remember that maybe you wrote that part, or if you're playing somebody else's stuff and you're coming into that passage that you struggle with, well, the only reason you want to play it is because you love every part of it, and maybe you don't want that moment to be robbed from you. You know what I mean? So try to keep that in perspective as you practice and as you play and as you perform, and have fun with that.